Hello, my name's Dawn. I did a little set earlier, and now I'm going to do one more as we kick off the glorious poetry. This is a song that I wrote. It's called Ashura. Woman will not be forgotten. Woman will not take the same. Woman will tune into power. Woman is not here to blame. We are tuning into ourselves, finding pools of feminine wealth. We'll drink from the pools, swim in the streams, dance on the ocean and into sunbeams. Oh, Ashura, Ashura, now that you're here, may I entreat you to stay near, my dear. I never saw you in the garden, but I always felt your heart. Oh, Ashura, Ashura, now that you're here, may I entreat you to stay near, my dear. I never saw you in the garden, but I always felt your heart. Thank you so much. Now on with the poetry. Thank you.
Yay. So good evening, everyone. I'm Jessica Lose, and I host the poetry here at Macchiarini Creative Design. Tonight is the 10th anniversary. Tonight is the 10th anniversary party of the jewelry school here, and so the past hour and a half have been spent with people discussing their work and taking classes here and speeches by some of the teachers, and now we're going to have the poetry. That was Dawn Smith, who just sang for you. She sang earlier for the opening of the party for the school as well. And thank you everyone for coming. The first poet of the evening, please welcome William Taylor Jr.
Thank you, Jessica. Hello, beautiful people. Happy anniversary to Macchiarini Design. Metalworks, sorry. Thanks for having me. This is called Why We Sing. The universe is forever indifferent to our sorrow, and this is why we make a music of it. We are God forgotten, and this is why we dance the way we do, why we reach for fire and other things that burn, why we learn the language of everything gone and turn it into song. Each day we wake into a world that is already lost, and this is why we sing. This is called a poem or something. I like hanging out in North Beach and finding a quiet place to sit and drink a while as I ponder the world and try and wrestle a poem or something from the sorry mess of it. Sometimes it's hard, mostly because of the poets. The poets are everywhere. The bars and the cafes, the liquor stores and the street corners. And the poets like to talk. Hardly anybody likes to talk like the North Beach poets like to talk. Which can be an issue if you're trying to write a poem. And I'm currently hiding in the wine bar that plays heavy metal records at a loud volume. The poets tend to stay away from here since they can't hear themselves talk. And if I'm lucky, I'll have a bit of time before one of them sees me through the window and wants to buy me a beer or borrow $5. I'll have time enough to scratch out a skeleton of this thing that sits inside me, refusing me peace until I grant it some semblance of life outside myself. and I decree this will have to do for now. And I suck down my drink and I head back out into the night in search of something I cannot name and some poets who will listen to me talk about it. It's another San Francisco poem. I kind of have this thing when I go record shopping on Haight Street. I like to go to Muriel's Trophy Room and have a few beers before I go to Amoeba. It's nice to have a buzz when you go and pick out your records. It's called Poem Written While Getting a Decent Buzz Before Going to the Record Store. Yes, I already explained that. I'm still a sucker for the gorgeous absurdity of the people walking along Haight Streets beneath the old San Francisco sky, buying records and tacos and whiskey ginger ales. The impossible beauty of a young woman studying the menu at a sidewalk table. The tour buses and the big-eyed street kids still searching for the summer of love. I drink beer outside Muriel's and I imagine myself the Walt Whitman of the end times. The biker chick bartender is pleasantly indifferent, and a gin-drinking woman tries to engage me in conversation. She wants to tell me about how everything was different in the 1970s, and how this building used to be another building, and how this jukebox used to be a different jukebox with different songs. But I take my drink outside to my plastic table, where I might better write about my loneliness. And a large man drinking many whiskeys as he talks on his phone asks me what it is I do. I tell him something vague, and he tells me I look like a star. He tells me he's in the music industry. He wants to tell me stories about the people and things that he's done. But I shake his hand and tell him I have to catch a bus. He spills whiskey on his shirt and tie as he laughs and waves me away. And a few blocks down, a man in a dirty dinosaur outfit asks me for change, as the punk kids sneer and the sidewalk deadheads grin and take another hit. Immune to death and the other machinations of the man. All of us caught here together in this poisonous glory of whatever the hell this is. Our dumbass hearts breaking eternally for nothing in particular and everything at once. And this is a poem I wrote because a friend of mine told me that I wrote too many poems about drinking at Vesuvio and writing poems. So this is called Another Fucking Poem About Drinking at Vesuvio, for Hugh Blanton. The North Beach poets sit at the bar and drink at all hours in their funny hats and coats, as if there was nothing else in the world that ever needed doing. And the anarchist girl sits alone at a table drinking dark beer and reading a book about the rise of techno-fascism. And me, I'm forever on the run from death and his henchmen, with a glass of wine at my favorite table in the back corner of the balcony, beneath the painting of the bare-breasted woman. And I tear my little poems from the jagged teeth of the dark as best I am able, as the pretty girls in Kerouac Alley sit at little round tables smoking cigarettes and drinking beer. I gaze down upon them and pretend I am in Paris. I've never been to Paris, and it's looking like I might not ever make it, even though I'd like to. Some people do things like go to Paris, and others muddle through life one moment to the next. And I figure that's just the way it is, and there's no sense getting upset. There's still some poetry to be mined here, despite what the years have taken. And I suck it all in, and I bask in the feel of it, thinking of all those suckers in Paris who will never get the chance. Thank you. This is called Art. I'm working at my painting, trying to capture the figure of a woman, but the hands are giving me trouble. I've never learned to love power or money enough to hold much of either, always just enough to get me through the day. I've lost faith in the prospects of myself and most others. I no longer believe that there is much that can be saved. I've made what peace with it I can. The world and its people out there doing their harm. The future like a dark and ill-formed beast perched atop some building in the distance. But I sit momentarily safe enough behind these walls, trying to paint better hands. And my last one, thank you. This is called Carnival. Understand that every scrap of light you peel from the dark, in whatever fashion you can afford, is a victory worth noting. It's like being at the county fair and winning the skull and crossbones ring, and the Led Zeppelin mirror, and the Farrah Fawcett poster, and the oversized stuffed panda bear that you're going to give to the girl you like in physical science class. Because you somehow managed to pop enough balloons, or get enough balls in the holes, or you bang that thing hard enough with a giant mallet, even when chance and God and the drunken carnival barker were all dead against you. Thank you.
So once again, that was William Taylor Jr. And next, we have a performance by a neighborhood icon and treasure. Please welcome Fanny Renoir.
The guitar is out of tune, and that's just how I like it. I mean, I only have somebody else tune it, they tune it, and it's out of tune when they tune it. I don't even know. I practice really hard, but then you don't know if you're going to be able to actually accomplish your goal.
80%.
I never felt more like singing the blues, 'cause I never thought that I'd ever lose your love, dear. You got me singing the blues. Raccoons in a barrel of bits. 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 Well, I never felt more like singing the blues, 'cause I never thought that I'd ever lose your love, dear. You got me singing the blues. Raccoons in a barrel of bits. Raccoons in a barrel of bits. Raccoons in a barrel of bits. He kicked me in the ankle, pushed me down the hall. I hit my head against the wall, but I did not fall. You got me singing the blues. You got me singing the blues. I went down the trail. I climbed a tree. I shed a tear. Then I began to sob. It was a terrible feeling. Oh yeah, you got me singing the blues. 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 I'm a terrible guitar player. I know it. It's okay. It's okay to be a terrible guitar player. on top of Old Smoky, all covered with snow. I lost my true lover, come a courting too slow. For courting's a pleasure and flirting's a grief, but a false-hearted lover is worse than a thief. For a thief will just rob you and take what you have, but a false-hearted lover will take you to your grave, and the grave will decay and turn you to dust, and there's not one in a million whom you can trust. This is one of the truest songs that I've ever known. When you go out, you never know if you're going to make it back home alive. It's kind of comical in a way. I see a bad moon arising, I see trouble in the way, I feel earthquakes and lightning, I feel rivers overflowing. Don't go round tonight, you're bound to lose your life, 'cause there's a bad moon on the rise. Have you got your things together? Are you prepared to die? One eye is taken for another. Don't go round tonight, you're bound to lose. Hi. Robert. Oh my gosh. I worked a lot on Only You, but I just can't get the lyrics straight. So I'm going to just end with this. In the song by Bob Dylan called Lay Lady Lay, the second or third line into the song, and for 30 years I never heard that line. And this is the line. Lay lady lay, lay upon my big brass bed. Stay lady stay, stay with your man a while. And here's the line. Whatever colors you have in your mind, I will show you how to make them shine. Stay, lady, stay. Stay with your man a while. Thank you.
Once again, that was the one and only Fanny Renoir. And next, we are going to have some poetry by Scott Bird. Please welcome Scott Bird.
Thank you, Jessica. I'm the poet that you call when the other poets don't show up. I'm a good filler. So I hope to give you a little fill here. This is a poem called The Windover by Gerard Manley Hopkins. I caught this morning's minion, kingdom of daylight's dauphin, a dappled dawn-drawn falcon in his riding, of the rolling river underneath him, steady air and striding high there. Oh, how he rung upon the rein of a wimpling wing in his ecstasy, then off forth on swing, as a skate's heel sweeps smooth the bow bend. My heart in hiding stirred for a bird, the achieve of, the mastery of the thing. Brute beauty and valor and act, oh, ere pride plume here buckle, and the fire that breaks forth from thee then, a billion times told lovelier, more dangerous. Oh, my chevalier, no wonder of it. Sheer plod makes plow down Cillian shine, and blue, bleak embers, my dear, fall, gall themselves and gash gold vermilion. That was a poem about a falcon. I don't know if you've seen this movie with Juliette Binoche, and I can't remember the fellow's name that plays with her. It's called Words and Pictures. But it's a very sweet film. And the director, Paul Gabrowski, wrote this poem. The idea is that Juliette Binoche is an art teacher, and she's in a battle between the literature teacher as to what is more important, words or pictures, hence the title. And this is the poem that he writes to her painting. It's called Who Are You? I am a small poem on a page with room for another. Share with me this white field, wide as an acre of snow, clear but for these little markings like the steps of birds. Come now, this is the trough of the wave, the seconds after lightning, the thin slice of silence as music ends, the freeze before the melting. Hurry, come, lie down beside me, make angels, make devils, make who you are. Let's see, one more. Thank you, Fanny. I can't top that. I can't top... No, that was a pretty good... that was a pretty good set, Fanny Renoir. Well, maybe I will sing one for you. This is a setting of a poem of Jack Hirschman's that I did. It's the third movement of his arcane called the Grit Arcane. And it goes like this. Now, chair, I will climb up into you as one climbs a tree and be done with competition. I am old, I am young, I have been schools, I have been streets, and the wave of hardened Metallica. I've been the playback and the fast forward, I have been graffiti. I have told why nothing is not zero, why a woman's hips are red, why the squirrel brings me nuts. I have sucked my thumb as all good shamans. I have banged my spoon and dribbled diverse things. My fingers played the world on its new piano. The mouse ran up the clock and all was money. Now, chair, I will lie across your lap at twilight and fiddle with my hair and wonder at all this flickering. Because a woman is never still, I have been a traveler. The river at sundown is deep. I've been a beacon. I have been grit. Now, chair, I thin. I am written. I am drawn. I leave a line in the night sky, a streak of fire, an instant dint, then go out, go dark, go into, and all is light. Thank you.
Once again, that was Scott Bird. Well, the clarinet player, Tiger Dave, I don't know if he was bringing his clarinet or saxophone, but he is not here. He's on his way, but I don't know where. So I was going to read this Bob Kaufman poem with him playing the clarinet or the saxophone, whichever one he's going to bring, but he's not here, as I said. So I will read the poem without him, without the clarinet.
How does she spot me from behind?
So in the meantime, I'll just read two short poems of my own. The first one is called The Stage. The Stage. He is red. He has big shoes on the corner with no teeth. He holds up a wig, designs a cheek. The paint might scare the children. He can't juggle. Balloon animals kill the fish. Gum is 5 cents. Each pantomime struggles. Roses from torn sleeves fall into an empty cabaret. He honks his nose, sits in a busted chair, takes it off with cold cream. It isn't his job anymore. And this one is called Ravens of Juneau. Ravens of Juneau, they come in spring and fly in a blue art-brit sky. They use the wind to fixate, to heckle the duende. So much for Amaya, Lorca, and Isadora. The ravens are Messiaen's silent prayer. They are the dark spot that dances on Cecil Taylor's anorexic heart. Yay! And look it is Tiger Dave. San Francisco Beat by Bob Kaufman. Hidden in the eye of jazz, secretly bailing against time. I see cabbage eye, malignant successes, eating plastic ball-shaped benzodrines, hiding in the windows of empty doghouses. Among limb shops, selling breasts, the rookie policeman. Jazz cops with ivory nightsticks, leaning on the heads of imitation Negroes, selling ice cubes to returned virgins, wrapping velvet band-aids over holes in the arms of heaven-headed junkies. Hawkeye baggy pants businessmen building earthquake-proof aluminum whorehouses, guaranteeing satisfaction to pinstripes murders, or your money back in West Heaven, full of glorious Caesarean section politics, giving kisses to round, half-lipped babies, eating metal jazz from cavities in father's chest, purchased in Flagpole War to leave balloon-chested, unfreaked Reader's Digested women grinning at Coit Tower, dripping harmless flagellations on the scaly backs of gradual cellibacks selling polka dot diaphragms to gay young monsters drowning in flowing gutters, of timely discussions on tele-mother vision father, gradually sucking the heads of little small big people into cat-hole obedience, demanding all onions. From one fly speck of love I keep hidden in my webbed feet out of step. Well, thank you very much for coming this evening. Once again, it's the 10th anniversary of the Macchiarini Metalworks Jewelry School. And this was the poetry reading. Thank you, Macchiarini Gallery, for having us. Thank you, David Zeese, for doing the sound, as always. Thank you, Colin, for videotaping the reading every month for the past 4 years now, I think. And it's on Alcatraz Radio, so you can always see the performances on Alcatraz Radio. And what have I forgotten? And Jazz in Kerouac Alley starts again this Sunday, 2 to 4 p.m. in Kerouac Alley with Gaucho. Every second Sunday, March through October. Have a good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for coming.
I see trees that are green, red roses too. I watch them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see clouds of gray, skies of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Thank you so much. Thank you. And now, on with the poetry. Have a wonderful night.